He'll certainly be pleased with the start to the second half. Jose Zero.
Cesar, the more involved goalkeeper. Layun again with the set piece. Stolen on at the near post by Danilo Pereira. Got a crack at the back of his head for his pains.
You can see what he was trying to do, just let that skim off his forehead. Usually gets too much on it. Just overextend his neck there as he's trying to flick it back.
24-year-old holding midfield player who's already played football in Italy with Parma, in Greece with Thessaloniki, and in Holland with Roda, as well as this current spell with Porto, having had time also with Maritimo. Gaitan got it back from Mitroglou, sorted out well by Chidozi, forward by Danilo Pereira, held up by Abubakar, shifted on by Herrera. Fair bit of space here for Brahimi. Brahimi across goal, and Lindelof was in just the right spot to repel the danger.
Well, Almeida's frightened of coming out. He should be coming out much quicker. He allows Brahimi to run into the box. No, he can't really make a challenge. And Lindelof does really well just to get across the front of Andre. All Porto at the start of this second half.
Again, there's a fair bit coming onto the field of play. Layun's corner. And down as far as Herrera, who bashed it into the crowd, and now there's a chance for a counter. Led by Pizzi, Gaitan alongside him. Pizzi is quick and penetrative, and he's found Gaitan onside. Gaitan is denied by the outstretched arm of Casillas. End to end in seconds.
Well, Pizzi, I thought was going to run himself. Gaitan was struggling to get up there. In the end, got his chance, but he doesn't make a very good contact with it. He still has to make the save. Casillas, I think that's just creeping in at the far post, and he did well not just to palm it out into the path of the on-rushing striker, Jonas.
Pizzi's outswinger, and the header is up, over and behind from Jonas.
Jonas with a big chance there. Lindelof misses it. Jonas should score. He actually ducked his head at the last minute. It was off his side of his head. Good challenge by Martin Zindi.
Enough, Jonas, who has an extraordinary scoring rate for Benfica. 55 goals in 65 games since coming to the club from Valencia a couple of years ago. What he has never done in 6 previous attempts is score against Porto or Sporting, the 2 big games.
Am I right in saying it was one of the best free transfers we've seen for quite some while?
It's hard to believe there's been a better one in terms of tangible return.
Layun just caught on that occasion. Jonas going with his stud showing.
Corona. Abubakar offside.
Didn't need to make his run quite so early. He's on the half turn. He can see across the line. There was lots of space for the ball to be played into. Watch again. If he just stays where he is, the ball can be rolled into his feet, and his first touch into the space. Just too anxious.
Jonas with no route past Chidozi. His clearance came to Renato Sanchez.
Overrunning midfield a little bit, Benfica. They are playing with 2 up front, 2 wide players. That's meaning Samaris and Sanchez are the only midfield players in there.
Pizzi, Almeida, Jonas with the hit, came down for Gaitan, who has to settle for a corner.
Well, is this going in as it hits Mitroglou? Great cross from the right hand side, strikes it brilliantly. That's just creeping in at that near post. Casillas may have got there himself.
Gaitan's corner, header down from Jardel. Terrific game this. First 10 minutes of the second half, though goalless, have produced genuine purpose in either penalty area. Proper threat. It's clear a desire on the part of both teams not to settle for what they have. Each wants to win. Renato Sanchez, Gaitan. Followed by Eliseu. Chidozie. Boy playing in a man's environment and doing so okay. Andre. Flashed across field for Brahimi. Face to face with Almeida. Brahimi, and again. Smashing 1-2 with Herrera. A shot without pace.
Well, it's causing problems. Almeida is trying to get too tight. He's backing off.
Herrera, Abubakar, Corona offside.
I think that was a much better chance. This is offside, and the ball's played there, quite rightly given. When Brahimi played that little 1-2 and got it onto his right foot, I expected him to bend it into that far corner just as Herrera did.
Didn't catch it, did he?
Came off his heel almost. This is more like Brahimi. This is the player I've seen on many occasions with a real creative force for Porto. Clever with his movement, good runner with the ball, can twist and turn, play little 1-2s. Jose Acero didn't get it right at the start of the game because he played him up the middle with Abubakar. Now he's out on this left-hand side. He looks a much bigger threat. He's got more room to play.
By Gaitan. Since he sorted it out with Layun. Casillas put a boot through it. And also Sanchez beaten in the centre circle by Andre, whom then he fouls.
He's done a good job, Andre. Not too much joy in the first 20 minutes. Couldn't get on the ball, was being outplayed, but certainly played his part for Porto's revival in this game.
Just looks as though we're going to have our first change of the game. That's Musa Marega, Malian striker, waiting to come on for Porto. Interesting one because he is a new arrival. The Porto mix, arrived at the start of February from Maritimo, and he is going to replace here Jesus Corona.
I don't think there's any surprise that Corona, the player to come off, has been the least effective of Porto's players in attacking areas. It's a straight swap. Renga's going to go and play on that right.
Came on for the last quarter of an hour plus against Arouca last weekend in that surprise home defeat for Porto, so this just his second appearance since coming from Maritimo. We're into the last half hour plus here.
Jonas's way here. A little nudge in the back from Chidozie, pushes him into the midfield player as well.
So let it get away, and showed his irritation at himself. Herrera, Andre. Maxi Pereira. Still being showered with waste paper. Trouble with being public enemy number one if you're a fullback is that you're always close to the crowd. He can't hide in the centre circle, Maxi Pereira. Hector Herrera, Abubakar, Marega. Still flying on from that stand. Samaris, Lindelof.
Struggling to get the ball into the front players at the moment. Jonas and Mitroglou. That's a better pass.
Mitroglou, Pizzi, good-looking ball that. Layun read it well. Did come down for Jonas, and now for Gaitan. Gaitan's cross, back in by Almeida. But not into the path of Jonas. Don't want to get into that position, the right full-back.
See there, Samaris just sits in for him.
Andre, support from Maxi Pereira, who ran into the back of Gaitan. A quick reminder of our other live Portuguese football this weekend. Tomorrow from 6:30 tea time, Sporting, who start the weekend in second place, visit Nacional. And followers of the Portuguese game will also be interested in one of our live offerings on Tuesday night when the Champions League resumes. Benfica take on the champions of Russia, Zenit St. Petersburg, in the first leg of their two-legged last 16 tie. That and every Champions League game live on BT Sport. Litter is becoming a problem in a very practical sense. It's genuinely in the way. Benfica crowd inconveniencing their own players as much as the visitors.
Well, they're frustrated, the home players. A couple of times they've tried to run with the ball and it's just hit one of those pieces of paper, stop them in their tracks.
Abubakar got a shot away, and it wasn't very far away.
That's what he can do. There's the run again. Finds a bit of space in between the fullback Almeida and Lindelof. Brahimi was screaming for it wider. It comes off the outside of his boot. He gets his shot away so quickly, doesn't he, Abubakar?
Marega. Early towards Abubakar, out by Lindelof. Taken back by Maxi Pereira. Free kick has gone Porto's way, and that will further enrage those supporters close to the touchline. We feel that Mitroglou's got a raw deal here.
Porto have made one substitution. Maybe time for Benfica. Saw a bit of Talisca last week. And there's another player that can come on, maybe change the game.
Abubakar, a game changer in himself. And not this time, Lindelof clear. Down again by Layun. Abubakar. Jonas, Pizzi. Swerving away from Martins Indy. Renato Sanchez, Gaitan, nice touch from him. Good tackle, Chidozi. Herrera, Abubakar, Brahimi, Andre through the middle, likewise Hector Herrera, Brahimi, Andre, Brahimi, Abubakar has got free and scored for Porto! Vincent Abubakar! And on the ground where they most love to win, Porto lead!
Brilliant again from Brahimi. Almeida must get tighter to him. You can't allow him to pick his passes out and play little 1-2s. He's going to run the game out on this left-hand side, but we also saw the strength and power and finishing quality of that man there, Abubakar. Watch again. He can pick out his pass, Brahimi, plays the 1-2, then gets it into Abubakar. And the centre-half gets brushed to the side far too easily, Jardel. Cesar can't do much more, he goes to ground, maybe a fraction too early. Abubakar lifts it over him. Great finish.
A goal of muscle and touch from Vincent Abubakar, which means so much to Porto. The cat is amongst the pigeons at the top of Portugal's Primeira Liga. They have come from behind in a game most believed they had to win. They're less than 25 minutes away from winning it now. Oh, what a terrible slice! And what a brilliant save to save the blushes of Martins Indi by Casillas, who had no right to believe he would have to react like that.
I think this is a better save than the one in the first half. That's almost past him. That's a brilliant, brilliant save. Casillas, that ball's past him. Martins Indi on his right foot, he's a left-footed player, just took a swing at it.
He owes him a great vote of thanks. In by Pizzi. By Andre. Porto suddenly imbued with confidence and belief. A belief which has been missing in recent weeks. Benfica ready to make a double change.
Did I say that Casillas was an ageing goalkeeper in the first half?
He's getting younger now.
Very young, 34 after that save.
Almeida. Slip through here for Pizzi. Pizzi's hung up the cross and Gaitan's at the back stick. Mitroglou looked to chase it home. Casillas in the way. Gaitan's side netting goal kick.
No, that one he saves with his foot. How Gaitan keeps this in play, I'm not quite sure. Does brilliantly to get it back. And Mitroglou does everything right. He has to stretch. Goes with his studs, I think, in the end. Yes, he does. Two players on the line, but Casillas in the right place at the right time. What a game this has been. Still a lot to go here.
It is a terrific game. Into which now comes Talisca in place of Samaris. Talisca, who, as Stuart rightly said earlier, played a small part at the end of last week's 5-0 win against Belenenses. And Medi Carcelo Gonzalez is also on, perhaps surprisingly, in place of Pizzi, who's at time looked one of the more penetrative Benfica players.
It's the same change last week. Difference is, I think they were 4-0 up when they made the change. Carcelo came on for Pizzi. And he's very much a left-footed player, and he played on the right-hand side last week. He's going to play on the right-hand side again, just offside there, Abubakar.
First touch for Talisca. Brahimi. Herrera. Martins Indi. Luckiest man out there that he was prevented from scoring a truly spectacular own goal. Gaitan. Pereira's in the way, no foul given in favour of the Argentine. Reclaimed by Eliseu. There's a big rangy Talisca. Quite a unit. Marcelo Gonzalez. Jonas. Renato Sanchez. Jonas. Talisca. Minded to try something. His shot is deflected and squirts behind for a corner. It's worth trying something.
That's a very attacking line-up that Benfica have got now. Mitroglou is going to play through the middle. Jonas and Talisca are going to play off of him. Marcelo Gonzalez out on the right-hand side. Gaitan out on the left. Zonal marking from Porto along that 6-yard box.
Hoisted in towards Lindelof, away by Danilo Pereira. Further clear from Andre. Abubakar's chasing, and also Sanchez back.
He sees all left foot. Marcelo Gonzalez. Means he's not going to go to the byline too often. He's going to cut back on that left foot and cross balls into the box. Try and play little 1-2s with the likes of Mitroglou.
Gaitan. Ignacio Sanchez. Brahimi in the way. Sanchez took it back. Jonas couldn't find a route through. Talisca tries to do so. Called over Marega, who told the referee not to give a free kick, and he complied. Renato Sanchez. Talisca's picked up some good positions since coming on. Out by Martins Indy, further clear from Marega. Next weekend in the Portuguese League, a couple of live games for you. Benfica again, away from home this time. BT Sport 2, 6:30 next Saturday, and then on Sunday tea time, 6:15, ESPN HD for Porto's home game against Moreirense.
Trying to play on the front foot a little bit more now, Benfica, with the system, the line-up. Porto are going to be pushed back, but there are chances for them to counter-attack at pace. Vega doesn't do too much wrong, doesn't lift his leg. Yes, just continues kicking through the ball. His follow-through hits the wide man.
Good feet from Marcelo Gonzalez till eventually he bites off just a shade more than he could chew. Maxi Pereira's clearance is weak. Right for Gaitan, and switched wide by Marcelo Gonzalez.
Well, he said he's all left foot, and that fell on his right foot. Put himself in a really good position, trying to guide it in at that near post. Comes off his shin in the end. It's a chance for the substitute.
Last time Porto did win on this ground, which was very nearly 4 years ago, they did so from 2-1 down. Trailed to a couple of goals from Oscar Cardozo and scored twice inside the last 25 minutes or so. Now they have a 2-1 lead to protect, and they are going to make their second change. Andre is the player being withdrawn.
To be helped off the field by one or two of the Benfica players
who are in more of a hurry than he is. He's stubbornly lingering.
He's looking to see who else he can shake hands with before he gets off.
So he's being replaced by this teenage starlet, Ruben Neves, who twinkled on more than one occasion during their all-too-brief Champions League campaign for Porto. Still only 18 years old, turns 19 next month, won his first full international caps in a couple of friendly games last autumn.
He's going to get himself booked, is he, straight away? Yes, I think he is.
He's got it on Gaitan, and it's taken him about 12 seconds.
Well, he did well to win the ball to start with. And he's late, right on Gaitan's foot.
That's a poor one, isn't it?
Well, Herrera's now going to play further forward where Andre was playing. And Ruben Neves will play alongside Danilo Pereira. Very much a holding midfield player that likes to pass the ball as well.
Almeida by Lyon.
There you see Herrera's position, just as the player that's going to try and break forward to support Abubakar.
Talisca. Eliseu, Renato Sanchez. Snatched out by Ruben Neves. Foul by Talisca on Herrera. Taken. Marega having an elaborate shot at goal. No doubt that the whistle had already gone. Not sure why it should already have gone.
He's given a foul, the referee, against Marega. Got to the ball first, played it one side of the defender, was just about to run round the other. He's onside as well with his movement.
Last quarter of an hour of a match which, if it finishes this way, could prove a pivot in the Portuguese season. It's not overstating matters to say that, because if Porto win this, they drag Benfica back towards them, and they drag themselves right back up into the mix again. Added to that will be a dreadful bruise to Benfica ahead of the resumption of their Champions League campaign next week. This will also invite Sporting to go to the top if they so much as draw tomorrow's game away to Nacional.
Again, twisting and turning, shielding the ball. Such a confident player when he's playing well. Benfica bench don't like the decision.
By Jardel, taken by Talisca. He's young too, the Brazilian substitute, still only 22. 6 feet plenty. Scored a couple of goals this season in big wins for Benfica. His 2 goals have both come in 6-0 victories, one of which was against Belenenses at the start of the campaign.
Benfica would like to play Belenenses every week, wouldn't they? 6-0 and 5-0. Well, I'm just getting a bit frustrated now. Sense things are getting away from them. Poor bit of play by the left back, Eliseu. Haven't seen him get forward as much as he normally does. We'll see another substitution. The last one for Benfica.
It's a good tackle from Eliseu. Also Sanchez. Big kick given against Boubacar, with whom he wants a cuddle. Porto's success, if success they do achieve, into some sort of context. Benfica have only been beaten twice on this ground this season, once by Sporting and once in the Champions League by Atletico Madrid. Probably alongside this one, the 2 games they would least want to have lost. Cards coming out again.
Substitute. Marcelo Gonzalez is late with a challenge, had no chance of winning the ball. And you know the player he brings down. Just senses a bit of anxiety amongst the supporters, the players. Now the coach, I imagine he's going to make another change. Just change of tactics as well there from Rui Vitória.
They do each have 1 left in the locker, and Benfica are using theirs now. The final change, it's Eliseu, the left full-back, who's being withdrawn, and on in his stead. This is a moment, as the crowd reaction will hint to you, of some note. Eduardo Salvio, the Argentine left full-back, hasn't kicked a ball all season, and this, after a nasty and prolonged period of injury, is his first involvement since May. Hence the very warm welcome back. Quickly with Gaetan. Jonas, out by Bruno Martins Indy. Victor Herrera. Brahimi beaten to it by Almeida. Home up towards Jonas, well seen by Chidozie. Renewed urgency from Jardel. So Sanchez. There is Salvio. Introduced him as a fullback. He's a wide player who has operated at fullback. Clearly in extremis here, he's being asked to play in a more advanced position, wide on the right-hand side.
Looks as though Gaetan has gone back into
left back. Yeah. Confess that was confusing me to begin with.
Not sure the instructions from Rui Vitória got out quite right. Salvio's definitely playing on the right-hand side of midfield. Gaetan is playing at left back. Marcelo Gonzalez has gone out to the left-hand side.
Herrera. Marega. Here's a full-back's problem for Gaetan, and he just about got away with a degree of defensive uncertainty.
I think he's been a bit unlucky on a couple of occasions, Marega. Showed better body strength than Gaetan.
Renato Sanchez labouring to keep it in for Benfica. 8 minutes to save a point. Sanchez outnumbered 2-1. Having to deal again with the little outs, who really were targeting that man, Maxi Pereira.
Great difference in age between the two players, challenging Sanchez on that occasion.
Talisca's take a disappointment away by Abubakar. Porto had everyone back, there was no outlet, so it's going to come bouncing straight back at them. Gaetan, Salvio, nicked away by Layun. Brahimi, Herrera, Danilo Pereira. Too much for Abubakar, but just glad to get out.
Almost a perfect pass, wasn't it? Big diagonal, takes the pressure away. Abubakar, had he got on the end of it, 1v1 against Gaetan. Slightly overhit by Danilo. Not sure they want Talisca that deep. He's got to play another 10 yards higher up the field. Sanchez can sit in front of the two centre-backs. Not sure they even need anybody sitting in front of the two centre-backs.
It was curious that he took the corner they had a moment or two ago as well. Stuart, when he's 6'4" and you're chasing. The game, don't you want him in the middle? Anyhow, here's Gaetan.
Sanchez desperate to win the ball back, just had a little kick at him. Quite right, he gets the yellow card, and now Abubakar.
Turn for this fixture.
There is still 5.5 minutes to go.
Talking about the last time Porto won here, they did so then against 10 men. Conceição was sent off for Benfica in that game in March of 2012. Salvio, you can see the last change. Also have Silvestre Varela waiting to come on. Here's Brahimi, there's Abubakar. It's squirted off Lindelof and behind for a corner. And you won't expect Porto to take this in too much of a hurry. 7 for 8. Brahimi is the player at least originally indicated. Yes, it is he who is heading to the touchline, again amid as many handshakes as he can muster.
I'm not quite sure why they do this, because the referee's just going to add on more time.